Yeah, fine. So, first of all, everyone, welcome to episode number 5, all about statutory audit. And I wanted to say the main motive behind organizing these episodes. Every time, like we have CAs qualifying, and many of the even inter students, they have been going to the articleship. They're very confused about the profiles. Every time, lot of people reach out to me, like what exactly happens in the other profile. Like someone from taxation doesn't understand how audit domain works or something like that. So they are very confused. So I wanted to invite talented people from the fraternity who can give us the ground level insights regarding particular profiles where they have been experienced it, like they have joined and they're doing great in that in those profiles and they have specialization in that. So this will be uploaded on YouTube as well, and you can interact with them. I'm being the bridge between you and the speaker, guys. So this is my motive. And today we have the one of the blockbuster profiles, one of the very popular profiles, where most of the CAs, like the majority, like you can say a particular percentage of the CAs are occupied in that, even practicing, even in the big fours, we have statutory audit profile, which is one of the major thing a CA does. And today I'm very, very glad and very proud to invite my friend and a very talented speaker, CA Alice Singh. So I will introduce her to you guys. I have a very long list to introduce her. So she's a chartered accountant. She qualified her CA in May 2022 attempt only. With me, we qualified both together, and then she's a double qualified professional. She's a CS as well. She's a company secretary. So with talent, next level talent, and she has joined one of the big fours, and she's particularly working in the profile of statutory audit since more than 2 years. Like it's been 2.5 years now in the profile. So, and she's a public speaker. She has won many competitions from the ICAI in the ARC. She's a very renowned CA in ARC Eastern India Circle, and she has been a special ICAI invitee, and she has won major awards. And also, she possesses 11K plus followers on LinkedIn. So, so many talents. I'm very proud to know her personally and even to talk with her today. And thank you so much, Alice, for accepting my invitation, coming for the podcast and being ready to share your insights. Thank you so much for that. The platform is open for you. Yes.
Thank you so much, Sai. So I remember the day, I think we came across each other through this, Guwahati Institute's,
Yes.
EIRC Guwahati's, I guess it was extempo competition, right?
Yes.
And then our actually networking and all that got stronger, that bond got stronger with that campus placement when we both
Yes.
qualified together. So,
Yes.
and yeah, post that qualification, since we both landed up in jobs through ICI campus placements.
Yes.
So, my first webinar was also with you. So, yeah,
Yes,
that
the
thing is
fraternity
really
one.
special to me
Yeah.
with fraternity. Yeah, so I'm really delighted to work with you because as you keep on saying that I'm a double professional and all, you you yourself have that CA and CMA things. So for
So,
me, it's a great opportunity, and thank you for inviting me. And looking forward to a great session ahead.
yeah, definitely. Like, I'm very, very excited. I have a lot of questions. Even I'm a very curious individual today with you because even I have just touched statutory audit with banking mostly, but not with the companies, and I don't have that much ground level experience. So I'm very curious to hear from you what you would share with us, with the audience. And coming to the first, like, I want to know your journey and like regarding your articleship, what kind of experiences you had in which work domains, and then what motivated you to join this profile. So I want to
Okay.
know regarding the journey.
So I'll say the thing that motivated me towards this profile post qualification was my articleship journey only. And
Okay.
I do not come from any big four background or a mid size or large size firm. I come from a small size firm only. And I think this myth is bursted with that,
Hmm.
that
Hmm.
people say that landing up a job at big fours should always be, coupled with ranks in
Hmm.
examinations or first attempts.
Right.
or I'll say a good, background in your articleship with the big fours.
Right.
That myth is, I think, busted with my personal journey, because I worked under 2 to 3 partners firm. So you understand how small that is.
Yes. Yes.
And it is from Kolkata itself.
Hmm.
Nevertheless, being small, I did not face any challenge in getting that knowledge which is required for statutory audit. So yes, one good thing about working with small firms during articleship is, you get a entire facet of all
Yes.
the knowledge. You
Yes.
have both audit, DT, direct tax,
Yes.
income tax,
Yes.
GST, everything. You get all the knowledge. So
Yes.
that is, like an added advantage
Yes.
from which you can select which profile you would like to go post qualification.
Right.
So yeah, for me, I got this knowledge of like every indirect tax, be it indirect, direct tax, and statutory audits. But yes, the statutory audit, it gave me a kind of feeling that I would like to take it forward, considering that it it is more like, for an auditor there is this huge responsibility in our
Hmm.
shoulders, right?
Hmm. Hmm.
We always say that CAs are the financial pillars, like as important as a doctor. That
Yes.
financial health of an economy depends on a CA.
Yes.
So I guess that main thing of that financial responsibility, I tend to, take it from that statutory audit point of view, because
Right.
I think statutory audit is basically, if I say, it's depending up audit which depends and which has come into existence because of the law of the nation. And so, if a nation's law tells you about what things to do, that means the companies which are, in this nation have a huge responsibility. And so the further responsibility falls on our shoulders. So, yes, as a CA, as an auditor, that drove me towards this statutory audit. So, yeah, that was my entire journey for this.
Thank you. I mean, you have kept every sentence, I mean, like in a poetic way, in a presentable way. I mean, like the sentences and words which you used, I mean, like they will directly go into any CA student's mind directly. So thank you so much for saying like in detail. And thank you so much for busting many myths also. Even your firm is small. My firm would come under very small category in a
Okay.
way. So guys,
But you have done
even
industrial training, right?
yes, yeah, I have done industrial training, but to go from a very small firm to industrial
To
training is also
industrial training,
a
that is also huge.
yes. So that was a huge step. So whatever, so we believed in ourselves and then we got into the MNCs and now we're doing great. So I'm feeling very good for both of us. And so coming to the profile now, and like if I have to ask you, like suppose if a stat audit team forms for a particular
Mhm.
client, so how many members would be there in that? What would be the core structure of the team, and like what would be the members' names? So if you can just give us a sample, like yeah.
For the course structure point of view, I think that actually depends on the client that you'll be handling.
Okay.
And here at Big Fours, the basic thing is a client, the quantum of work they have, their revenue
Hmm.
is analyzed, and basis that we have allocated hours that we need to allocate it to a certain engagement, because uh, I'll repeat this quite often.
Sure.
Statutory audit is quite stringent, okay,
Okay.
with their deadlines.
Yeah.
So each and every hour that we spend
Hmm.
matters.
Yes.
So each and everything counts. You just cannot, hit around the bushes if you're not
Hmm.
sure about it.
Hmm.
So yes, depending on the hours, which is basically hours of the engagement, is basis your revenue, the
Okay.
work of the company, how big or small its work scale is.
Okay.
So, one person who is like, if I go from the top down approach, one
Hmm.
person who is like who is the mandatory person to be there is
Hmm.
the signing partner, the
Okay.
partner of the firm, because
Okay.
they'd be finally signing off the financial statements.
Okay.
And then the further team is
Hmm.
divided into executors and
Okay.
reviewers. So executors
Fine.
are basically people below the managerial level. So
Okay.
they actually are on the client side, who are going to
Hmm.
deal directly with the clients, with the
Hmm.
data that have been received and the work that they'll be working directly with the clients.
Hmm.
Second up comes the reviewers, who are
Hmm.
basically the managers and above, or if you say managers, senior managers, directors, before the partner levels. So they'd be reviewing your work, whatever you have done. So yes, depending on the team. Usually, if I have to quote a idle team, then it would be a partner on the head. Then there'll be this manager, director, manager, or senior manager, depending. And then there are assistant managers below the managers who would be, directly looking after the work. Then, for example, if I have to, align it, the CAs who are professionals, for these 2 to 3 professional experience ones, they'd be the executives.
Okay.
And
Okay.
below them, we have these interns, which are the articles from
Hmm.
our ICAI, the articles.
Hmm.
So, yeah, usually the reviewers are the ones who will be looking after indirectly after their work. So,
I
that way
get
it
it.
depends how
I get it.
small or big your team will be.
Okay. So like the team members will depend on like number of members will depend on the client size, you say.
Client size and their revenue and their workload, basically, because every hour that we devote is being charged
Yes.
to the client.
Yes.
And
Yes.
so if you say the partners hours are lesser,
Hmm.
partner devoting hours will be lesser than the ones who is executing directly. Their hours will be
Okay.
comparatively high, but their
Hmm.
cost will be low. And partners, like,
Okay.
it's like that way. And partners will be devoting lesser time, but their hours
Cost
cost will
cost
be
is
higher.
high.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that way. It's like top down that way,
I
because of
get
the
it.
quality of work. Because executors need to understand and you need to give time and all. So that
Hmm.
way it is.
I get it. I get it. I mean, thank you so much for such detailed explanation. Even I'm learning things while talking with you and listening to you. Thank you so much for breaking down into such good structure. So it's very like very knowledgeable stuff. And coming to the you're joining in this profile. I mean, I remember the campus placement day. We were very excited. I think we both had the interviews on the same day, I think, on the
Yeah,
campus.
right.
Yes. So I was having the Standard Chartered interview and you were having the Big Four interview on that day. And so can you kindly like elaborate us on your interview experience and then what kind of questions were asked you and even the number of rounds? I mean, like if you have offline idea, you can just tell us or else you can explain your own
Sure.
experience.
So before moving on to the interview questions,
Yeah.
I would like to, make it a little brief for the
Hmm.
participants here,
Hmm.
that it's not always campus placement through which you can join these big
Yes.
fours.
Yes.
There are like three options, if I can quote.
Hmm.
First is through the referral rounds.
Hmm.
Basically, whenever there is vacancy in the organization, the organization rolls out this vacancy list, wherein
Hmm.
they invite people from the organization to uh, uh, approach people who have appropriate competencies and qualifications, and through their referrals you can join. So this
Okay.
referral will not ensure that you are getting selected, but at least you'll get a priority over others in the market. So you get a chance. So through referrals from people in the organization. Second would be, I think, LinkedIn. This networking platform, it's an
Hmm.
amazing gift of
Yes.
mankind who are looking for employment and all and networking. So yeah, HRs these days are organizing this hiring announcement through LinkedIn.
Yes.
So you can approach yourself through that LinkedIn. You just get in connect with those HRs. Third would be this campus placement, which was the case for me. And rounds, I would say, I think 3 rounds are like really common for all of
Hmm.
us.
Hmm.
First is the HR round, wherein there is nothing technical, but you get to know about each other, professional, your like personal qualification, personal and professional qualification things that are being asked. Like, yes, they may ask about your attempts as well in that, and you need to justify in case you have had multiple
Attempt.
attempts,
Hmm.
and what prior articleship experience you have had.
Hmm.
Second comes your manager round,
Yes.
wherein the manager from the organization will be asking you questions, and therein, I think, therein the most thing would be the technical part. He might ask some non-technical things, some personal stuff to make you feel comfortable for the interview. But the technical round starts right from here, the manager round, second one. And third round is the partner round or the director round, wherein the crucial technical round, which I will say, and which plays a very important role for your selection.
Yes.
And this might go to four, 5 rounds for someone, but this only depends upon the quantum of candidates that have appeared for the interview and the quality of candidate that they are asking for. So yeah, just one thing, just be confident for those interview sessions, and don't beat around the bushes if you
Hmm.
don't know any, because for me during the interview as well, there were like two questions for which I was completely it was a new thing for me, but at the
Hmm.
same time I said them frankly that I am not aware of this. I would update myself on the same. And yeah, one thing, these people have your biodata, right? So
Hmm.
CV. So this CV, just well verse yourself with whatever work you have done in your articleship, so that this CV is the sometimes acts as your like question answer round. So whatever work
Okay.
you have mentioned in your CV, they'll ask you questions basis that only. How would you
Yes.
audit? Like you are saying, you have audited a listed company. How would you audit the physical inventory? What if this case happens? So it's basically that.
Yes. Yes.
So yeah, 3 rounds are like quite common. Further may depend upon the candidates and all.
Yeah. Right. So HR round, manager round, and then partner round, you said?
Partner round, right? These
Yeah,
are like
right.
common. These three will
Common.
definitely be there.
Definitely be there. Yeah.
Mhm.
So I have like offline experience of stat audit profile. Like I gave for
Okay.
Deloitte USI. So
I
it
remember.
yeah, it was offshore. And then I had almost 4 rounds, I think, 4 or 5 rounds maybe. Technical HR, then Version test happened, English test which you have. And then I had the VP round. So it was taken by someone from US. So
Okay.
yeah, all these rounds definitely happen, guys, and they will ask you mostly from your CV only. Because like if I mention like I have done concurrent audit of banks or stat audit of banks, so they will go up on your checklist review or whatever you
Right, right,
have,
right.
yeah, whatever you have touched. And can you just give us like what subjects they touched in your interview, like across CA?
Sure, sure. So for subjects, I'll say the technical thing that they are looking for is your for since this is a statutory audit, right? So
Hmm.
statutory audit, that means your statute here,
Hmm.
which is your
Hmm.
foundation stone, is your Companies Act 2013.
Yes. Yes.
Okay. So first of all, just keep yourself abreast with all the latest amendments in the Companies Act 2013 in
Right.
terms of law.
Right.
Second, all the latest amendments, I mean,
Hmm.
because they'll specifically one amendment question will definitely be there.
Hmm.
Second, I will say for the accounts, we have this INDS. AS, they might, but I'm not sure. Like, still AS is being, because for Big Fours,
Hmm.
usually there is INDS into picture.
Hmm. Hmm.
So INDS, yes, and for INDS, I'll say INDS 115, 116 are their favorites.
Yes. Right.
115, 116, and 109. So 115 is for revenue, 116 is for leases, and 109 is your financial instruments. They
Right.
are like their top three favorite childs that they like to know about.
Right.
And I think audit, yeah, for audit, having a good knowledge about the auditing standards issued by our mother body ICAI. So yeah,
Hmm.
just don't mix. If you don't know the numbers and the like SA 230 is audit documentation, and if
Hmm.
you don't know and you're just mixing up any random number, that creates a bad impression. So please do not do that. So auditing standards, Ind
Hmm.
AS and Companies Act 2013, like these three are the top three.
These
They'll
are the
definitely
top.
ask from here.
Great, great, great. And thank you so much for touching upon like in on the important stuff. And like while you're working now, so see, every student and every qualified professional, they will definitely have the theoretical knowledge. They have qualified the toughest exams, one of the toughest exams in the world. But while you're working on the profile in your day-to-day life, once you have stepped into the statutory profile, how much do you think whatever you have studied are coming into the picture in your real working professional area? I mean, like, are the theoretical subjects being touched or it's completely going differently on the ground level?
To this, I would say that yes, this having a theoretical knowledge is an extra advantage for you and for the team as well with whom you're
Yes,
working. It's like
yes.
a base to the pizza or the
Hmm.
uh, foundation, a brick to the entire building that you'll be rising. So, having that knowledge is an extra advantage for you in the in the way that, like I earlier mentioned, that statutory audit is a stringent
Hmm.
deadline audit. Okay,
Hmm.
so you
Hmm.
have a certain number of hours within
Yes.
which you need to execute, you need to get
Hmm.
it reviewed, you need to get it finalized.
Yes.
So if you are unaware of the ABC only, like other stuff, I think other stuff is basically what? Working on the Excel
Hmm.
and working on the Excel and using the tools of the Big Four that you'll be working,
Yes.
wherein you'll be uploading the work papers and
Hmm.
other stuff. But the main thing, which is the ABC, is your technical knowledge only. And if
Hmm.
you're not aware of the ABC, what you'll be writing, how you'll be writing the entire paragraph.
Right.
So yeah, that is a must. And because if you are not aware of things, you yourself are creating a danger pothole for yourself, because people are expecting here that you should know these basic things. You should know. People are very helpful here,
Hmm.
that they'll be explaining you things or places where you lack things or where you are faulting. But it is not possible for them to keep aside their work and sit with you and help you write things.
Right.
So yeah,
Very right.
you're obviously taking away their time as well. You're hampering your time and their time as well. And at the same thing, I think one good thing about, one special thing about audit is the audit quality that we all talk about. Okay,
Hmm.
so you are compromising on the audit quality itself of the engagement. And if
Yes.
the
Yes.
executor is itself not knowing, it is creating a domino effect for till the reviewer. The
Yes.
entire engagement is at red signal for the same.
Yes.
So yeah, technical knowledge is a must. You must have it. You might not have all, because for me as well, I'm still learning.
Hmm.
And
Hmm.
there are things that we might not know everything. Okay, I might not know every Companies Act sections and all, but I'm still learning. But at least I'm trying to keep myself updated. Basic to you must know.
Yes. So guys, the subject has to be on the fingertips.
Right.
And one of the biggest thing is once you are a CA, no one is going to excuse you. And please,
Mm-hmm.
people will be blunt, and most of the people will be very straight. You are a CA, and
Absolutely.
you cannot say
Yeah.
you don't know something, or you can't do this, or you cannot commit even an unintentional error as well. So
Right,
that,
right.
yeah, so that's how it goes on the
So
real
it's like
workplace.
they are already moving, and
Yes.
if you come and stop them now, it will all create a traffic,
Yes.
accident there that way.
Yes, so everything has a compounding effect, guys. So
Right,
as she said, if she asks someone, then they will be already preoccupied with their work, and so their time is also gone, your time is also gone. They will be committing to someone their work, so
right.
their work is also affected. So subject has to be on the fingertips. You are not excused. You are a CA. Life is tough. But yes, you have to move on with it. And thank you so much for giving us the real insight, Alice. And coming to the most important question. So, yeah, and one more thing I was going to highlight. As you have said, there was stat audit is a stringent profile, and you have hours limitation on this. So even the subject reading or research, whatever you do, guys, it has to be like you can't do it in between your client handling because every hour is being charged. If you focus on learning, then this work will be interrupted. So you have to manage it in the other hours when you are not committed with your client, maybe. I mean, I don't know how you handle it. It's very tough, but hats off.
Still learning, I said.
Yes. So, and coming to the most important question, uh, you came into the workplace, you got assigned a client, and from assigning a client to you, and then till you submit the stat audit report, final report, like how does the entire process go? Like how much is the ideal duration? I mean, it might depend on the size of the or size of the client, but still, if you can mention any ideal duration, you can mention. And what is the entire process? I mean, like what are the areas you focus inside the stat audit? And if there are differences between onshore and offshore client, you can also highlight that. So take your time, just elaborate it, how much it's possible for you, so just go on, Alice.
Okay. So here I'll say we have this EDAP meetings here,
Okay, okay,
uh, which is basically executive discussion and approval points,
okay.
wherein our side people, like people
Hmm,
from our team,
hmm,
the partners, managers,
hmm,
including the executives,
hmm.
they have this meeting with the client side from including people top to bottom from their side who are
Okay.
going to assist us with the audit. And we have this meetings quite frequently
Okay.
during the entire audit, right from the planning stage, during the execution, and as often as required till the end, like post
Hmm,
the audit as well, we sit to discuss. So these EDAP meetings in the
hmm.
beginning, these act as a planning phase,
Yes,
wherein we frame like how many hours or how many how much time would we would require to complete that particular audit.
right.
So now it depends on what kind of audit it is. Uh,
Hmm.
Usually, for statutory audit, be it onshore or offshore, there is this 9 months audit, which is the interim audit, and
Okay,
this year-end audit, which is usually the roll forward period of 3 months, the remaining 3 months. So that usually takes around 2 to 3 months,
okay. The
which is
year-end
being
audit.
done. Yeah, both interim or year-end, whatever you say. We try to take 2 to 3 months in which we'll wrap it up all the
Okay,
execution, reviews and closures, 2 to 3
okay.
months idle
Right,
time, if
right.
I have to mention. But there's also this in statutory audit, we have this limited review audits
Yes, yes.
for
LRR.
listed clients.
Hmm.
So that is a bit more stringent, I'll say, because
Yes.
therein we like post a quarter end, we
Hmm.
have only 10 to 12 days
Right, right, right. I
in
have seen
which we
this.
need to wrap up everything. Like you just
Hmm.
compare for interim and a normal interim audit or a year end audit, which takes usually 2 to 3 months.
Hmm.
For listed companies, this limited review audits, we need to do
Hmm.
everything within 10 to 12 days.
Yes,
Now here also we cannot compromise on the quality,
yes.
and at the same time we need to give deliverables within
Hmm. Hmm.
the specific time frame.
Yes.
Obviously the ones that I mentioned as 9 month interim and year end, that is
Hmm.
more detailed
Hmm.
in
Hmm.
nature. And as you can see, we take 2 to 3 months. That means the work is more detailed there. But
Yes.
this quarterly audits, which is required by stock exchanges and
Yes.
other regulatory authorities. So this time period is, I think, common for all. Like all the listed clients, they have this form of audit only.
Yes.
So yeah, right from the start to the end, it's more like we have these EDAP meetings, be it
Hmm.
whatever, limited review or interim or year end. We have this EDAP meetings where we discuss the time frame with the client and our team. And then we ask client for the data requirements that we have.
Hmm.
We
Hmm.
work upon the data that has been flowing from the clients basis the requirements.
Right.
We then process the data, send follow-up queries to the client, get it sorted. Once that is closed, we get it reviewed from our managers, senior managers, as the hierarchy goes above. And once that is done, review is done, and we are having a comfort, or even if we don't have a comfort, we have another meeting wherein we discuss about the audit adjustments or the uh, critical points that might cause an impact on the audit. So that meeting is held wherein we discuss about the same, and we analyze how true and fair
Hmm.
the financial statements are. And I
Hmm.
think post that the partner signs it off. So and then normal documentation process that goes
Okay.
on. So that way
Okay.
it is.
Okay. So, like, yeah, for as you said, the quarterly closings might always be like
Really
stringent,
hectic.
really
Yeah.
hectic.
So
Yeah.
very
So,
hectic,
so,
and don't talk about any any comfort or relief for that period.
yeah. So once like quarter ends, so now the March ending. So this time it's going to be annual closing. So it will be completely for 2 months, I think.
Right, right.
Yeah, so April and May will be completely stringent. And so if you are with one client, so will you be the same, like, will you be assigned multiple clients, or you will be doing only one client's work
Okay, at a time.
Yeah.
At a time, usually there is only one client.
Okay.
But in case, since as I said that your allocation is being done upon basis the engagement hours that has been
Hmm.
allocated to you.
Hmm.
So in
Hmm.
case there is some bandwidth, in case someone has been plotted to a smaller area of work
Hmm.
caption, wherein I think it would not take that much time, a second client may be allocated,
Okay.
provided you
Okay.
have that bandwidth.
Hmm.
But usually it
Because.
is one client, and yeah, this actually depends, because if you are an
Hmm.
executor,
Hmm.
you will get only one client, and if not one client, multiple clients depending upon that bandwidth thing.
Bandwidth thing.
But if you are a manager and above, since you will be getting lesser hours in a engagement, and you need not, like, for the starting period of the engagement, you need not work, right? You
Yes.
are just waiting until the executor completes the work and approaches you for review. You
Hmm.
are like, you have your bandwidth. So until then, a manager usually has multiple engagements,
Yeah.
a manager and above, not just a manager. Like for a partner, it's way more.
Hmm.
That
Hmm. Hmm. Hmm.
plate is way more filled with
Yes. Yes.
other engagements.
Yes.
See, it actually depends, because their hours also get reduced since they need not work or execute, they need to review. So, review usually takes lighter time because they have prior experience of places where they might find errors in your work papers, or you might fault at. So, yeah, that way. So, once
Right.
you climb up the ladder, the
Hmm.
engagements increases that way.
Yes. More work, more
Yeah,
deadlines.
right.
I can see the compounding effect.
Right.
So 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 there will be one client. Jiska like 9 months it will work like for interim, and then 2 to 3 months. So the whole year a particular clients like उनका audit
Yeah.
चलता रहेगा. You say.
हाँ, so जैसे for example, for 1 year of my, if I have to say, 3 months करके, if engagement is also there, like I'm usually plotted into 2 to 3 engagements minimum.
Okay, over a year.
Yeah, over a year.
Okay, so once the year ends, and then you will be assigned a new client, or you
Yeah.
might continue with the same client.
Now that depends upon your review, your
Okay,
performance,
okay,
your
okay.
performance. So if you are good at a certain work, engagement, then
Hmm.
the engagement team or the manager might ask you, like, this person did the work good, so we would like to have her again. So that
Hmm.
for them also, that
Yes.
learning curve is, they can see that learning curve in you,
Hmm. Hmm.
and their time also, is saved in the
Hmm.
fact that they need not tell you everything about the organization, client from the scratch. You already know
Yes.
what work
Yes.
is to be done,
Yes.
so that becomes easier. So yeah, your past karmas will decide your future engagement that
Right.
way.
And how much do you think traveling has a role in stat audit profile?
For statutory audit, I think you need to be on the wheels always.
Oh.
So yeah, client places visits, and your client places visits is like, really, because because of that stringent timeline thing only,
Hmm.
I'll say,
Hmm.
the more closer you are to the client
Yes.
in proximity, so it'll be easier for you to connect with them, get it sorted, and that, what do you say, that timeline in between, of
Hmm.
waiting, awaiting, that is, reduced to a great extent. But at the same time, I'll say this depends upon the team that you have,
Hmm.
like what team you're working with. For example, if you see offshores, for offshores people, or people who are working with, for example, being at this location, working with team of other location,
Hmm.
it's not necessary. It might depend, that you need not travel every time, and
Yeah.
for them, I think remote work is easier, and saves cost for the
Right.
engagement.
Right.
So yeah, if that is possible, because they also know how critical the client data is, and how
Yes.
stringent timeline they need to maintain. So
Hmm.
yeah, usually during the review period, people do travel.
Hmm.
And in case you are working with a listed client, then to I think traveling to you, just take it like to remote places or across the nation. It's like it's it's you cannot like keep statutory audit away from traveling.
Traveling.
It's
Yeah.
like together always.
Audit itself involves a lot of traveling, like let
Yeah,
that be internal audit or stat audit or
half the time
comparable.
we are in traffic only because of the
Yes,
same.
yes, yes. And that tires you a lot, like completely. I have
Yeah,
experienced it like during articleship. It's too much tiring. It takes away all your holidays and weekends and everything.
yeah, especially if you are an article. I
Yes.
think, because see, if you're a professional, then that's not much an issue, because if you are already settled down in your life,
Hmm.
then I think there might be some issue. Otherwise, if you're not, if you haven't settled, then I think it's more like, क्या और काम है तुमको, बस उठो काम करो, nothing like that. But if you're an article, and if you're
Hmm.
studying, if not just an article, if you're a professional who is studying some other profession as well,
Hmm.
I'll say in that case, uh, that might cause an issue, because professional, studies and timing management is really,
Yes,
that might
yes.
come into an issue. So,
It might give a lot of trouble for your studying as well. Like during articleship,
mm,
I've seen like people are crying, literally crying, like because they're not getting time to study by being in
mm,
audit profiles in Big Four. So it's been happening, guys. So take care of yourself and be
yeah.
healthy.
So, you need to understand this fact of yours. Like,
Yes,
if you are able to manage your studies, be it
yes.
articleship, or in future, in case you want to add on more professional degrees
Hmm.
to your name, then you might need to think but twice. But at the same time, I know people who are, working at Big Fours, and they are
Yeah,
also, studying
yes,
abroad, or with all those courses. So yeah,
yes,
that is also quite possible. It all depends upon how you can manage.
yes.
So your management skills comes into play at this
Time
point.
management skills and your flexibility. Like at any place
Mm.
you can study, like you're during travel, you can merge your studying with your travel. So it's all
Yeah,
upon you.
multitasker and super.
Yes.
man or superwoman you need to be.
I have seen guys like with stat audit profiles, people have hit rank and CA final. I have seen those guys also. So it's still possible. So just find the ways.
Yeah.
And yes, so like yeah, this question took almost 15 minutes. I knew because this is a very elaborative question. And now coming to the next question, like once you stepped into the stat audit world, so what kind of challenges you faced in the role, like with respect to learning, with respect to work, like everything, whatever, whatever aspect you want to focus on, just let me know the challenges you faced, Alice.
Learnings, I would, challenges I would break up into personal and professional, both
Yeah,
way. For
yes.
personal, I would say that, yeah, like I said, your work-life balance is might be a little imbalanced. So, yeah, work-life balance, stringent deadline working hours, not always, but sometimes, yes, during the reviews, like out of the 2 to 3 months that I've mentioned, like 2 to 3 weeks, just keep
Hmm.
it aside for those stringent ones. And wherein, you might have early logins, late
Hmm.
night workings, not boasting that it's quite cool. Late night workings, I'll just say that, just try to manage your timeline, work line in a way that you need not, go for that late night workings. It's not about boasting. I would not like to boast this hustle culture because it
Yes.
certainly impacts your health.
Hmm. Right.
So yeah, but sometimes it might happen. So that time you need to manage, and in case you're not able to manage the same, no, just talk it out. Talk it out.
Hmm.
Nothing, no, organization, no work profile is more important than you yourself, for for yourself and your family. That's the biggest thing I'll say. So yes, work-life balance, stringent working hours, and usually for Big Fours, I think there is this no weekend work. But in times of these deadlines, those also take a toll. So yeah, you need to have weekend workings and late night workings. So yeah, personal level, I'll say these only, and also in case you are a student, be it an article or someone who has qualified CA but wants to pursue another degree,
Hmm.
be it CS, CMA, UPSC, ACCA,
Yes.
uh, that might get impacted because you might not always have days wherein you can open your book, go through all the sessions on your laptop, so that might get affected. At the professional level, I will say people who tend to get bored easily, statutory audit is not for you because it really becomes monotonous. For some, it's like an added advantage. They like working on the same thing continuously.
Hmm.
Like,
Hmm.
obviously, see, two things might happen. You might be at the same client.
Yes.
If you are really good, they might, have you all together. Like, you just get placed in the payroll of the client that
Yes.
way. So either you're on the same client or you are in the different client, but same industry.
Same kind of work. Yeah.
Yeah, so it's not possible for the retain allocation team to keep basis your learning. They keep you give you a flavor of all the industries.
Hmm.
But in case you get bored easily, then this might seem a little monotonous, and that monotonous brings upon that tiredness,
I get it.
mental tiredness, if I'll say,
Okay.
wherein you sometimes might feel that why am I doing this statutory
Oh.
audit? Yeah, because for some people it's really good because they would like to keep themselves updated and increase their knowledge content for the same, so that they
Hmm.
get to know much better about it. But for people who would like to have a interesting work throughout their journey, that might become a little monotonous that way.
I completely get it. Like these are like whatever knowledge and points you're sharing, like they are
Uh-huh.
coming directly from the real life experiences, guys. You
Right.
won't, I can write it and give it to you. You can't find this kind of stuff anywhere, guys. Just take everything from Alice. Just learn. Learn how much like it's possible for you guys today. And okay, so these are the challenges you faced within this 2.5 years, and even I'm getting to learn so much from you, Alice. And like, what do you think? Like, what can be the pros and cons of joining this profile? Like, if you can highlight, yeah.
Pros, I would say, your since this is like a 360-degree understanding. This profile
Mhm.
gives you a 360-degree understanding of the industry. And see, at a certain level, like be it executive or I'm an assistant manager or a manager, it might not be that I'm plotted in an engagement for 2 to 3 months and I get all the knowledge related to that engagement or related to that industry. So you just need to have patience and stay
Right.
to understand it, to
Yes.
discuss it with your peers, your seniors, to understand it and to learn it for yourself. Because there might be some work which is given to a manager only, because that work is that of that level. So you need to wait, have patience. So yeah, pros is you get a 360-degree knowledge of that industry, provided you have that ample time with you. Second, I would say exit option. If I come to that second, it would be exit options, because in case you need to switch to similar
Hmm.
organizations, or in case you need to set up your own practice firm, which most of us do.
Yes.
So, see, big fours usually have a good reputed client base. Okay, the
Yes.
top, the cream ones.
Yes.
So if you have worked with them, not just your technical knowledge, but also your communication skills, your presentation, everything is groomed to a next level,
Right. Right.
I'll say.
Hmm.
So once you have worked with that top level, no, working at a ground level from the scratch in practice becomes easier, because you know how you've handled the top ones. Then this is definitely easier for you to handle. So
Yes.
yeah, first is your 360-degree development of the knowledge in the industry. Second is exit options, be it within the big fours or even in the other large firms or the mid-sized firms or the small firms. On And the third one is obviously the practice, for which
Yes.
the
The
CAs are well
biggest,
known.
biggest one, like,
Biggest
yes.
thing. So yeah,
Hmm.
if you have spent quite a good timeline with the organization, setting up a practice is becomes easier because of the confidence boost that you get.
Yes.
For cons, I'll say yes, that work life balance,
Yeah.
because that is affected.
Hmm.
And in case you're not able to take it up at certain point, then that statutory audit thing becomes frustrating. Even if someone mentions audit, you will get frustrated.
Right.
And second would be that monotonous thing, like if you
Hmm.
don't want to have every year same thing I'm doing, same revenue work paper, same pp, like property plant and equipment work paper, I don't want to
Hmm.
do. So that way, it kind of affects you, because in your at the end of the day, 1 year down the line also, if you see, you need to mention whatever work you have done. You need to keep your CV updated. So if your CV is updated and you see that you have only done revenue for the entire year, be it different industry, but you have only done revenue, so you have only knowledge of revenue,
Yes.
nothing else. You don't know
Nothing
about the
else.
cost. So in case in future you want to go for any other options, so other than revenue, you don't know anything. So your knowledge gets restricted sometimes. So that is a con, I believe.
Great. Great. And thank you. I mean, like, I don't have any kind of extra questions once Alice answers, because she answers to the point, and like the reality check she gives, like it's insane, Alice, insane. And so like one of the points which I got to know from Statutory profile is the exit options are very good. Like they are expanded to the industry you can shift, to the practice you can shift, like you can establish your firm, you can
Everything,
partner
right?
with it, you
Everything,
can do everything, guys. Like
right,
everything and anything. And I mean, like, except for tax profiles, if you want to shift, you can shift to any other, like into the finance, into the consulting,
right,
or like you can go to anywhere, guys. So that's why I said, like, this is one of the blockbuster profiles which CAs
right.
have, and this is one of the
Like
treasure, like,
you're always at a benefit only. At
yes,
any point of life, you want to,
yes.
you want to change. I'm done with it. You have every lanes available for you to go.
Yes, right, 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 right. And coming to the organization, like can you just, like, if a fresher CA and enters Big Four, like if you just give us a random idea, like how does the hierarchy go on, like from the fresher till the senior, like who are the people in the ladder, like you can you just give a random
Yeah.
idea?
So, as a fresher, like the way I have joined post
Hmm.
qualification, so I got into executive,
Okay.
which some depends upon what organization, because the profile remains the same, the name
Hmm.
changes for
Yeah.
different Big Four organization. So
Yeah.
initially it's the fresher for like first 2 to 3 years.
Hmm.
Then comes your assistant manager,
Okay.
which is again 2 to 3 years period.
Okay.
Then comes your manager, which
Hmm.
is that is also 2 to 3, or maximum it might go to 4, 5 that way.
Okay. Okay.
Then comes your senior manager,
Okay.
again 3 to 5 thing.
Hmm.
And then comes your director.
Okay. Hmm.
And post the director, there is this final partner, which everyone is eyeing to at the
Big
end of
Four
the day.
partner. Yeah.
Yeah. So basically, if I have to, uh, keep it a tenure, it would be like 15 years में partner वैसा, provided
Your
how you
performance
are.
is good.
Yeah, like if you have a good you are having that good learning curve, and you're having that good reviews, like for reviews
Hmm.
also it depends. So yeah, good performance, then I think you might get into that midterm promotions and all. And
Hmm.
looking at, I think hard work never goes out of vain.
Yes.
So I think yeah, 10 to 15 years on an
Hmm.
average to partner level from a fresher. So that way.
Fresher, assistant manager, manager, senior manager, director, partner. You said.
Right, right.
Right. Great. 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 Great.
uh,
Thank you so much.
the name might change
Hmm. Hmm.
on in organization wise, but
Hmm.
the thing remains the same
Yeah,
that way.
mostly I've heard the same. Yeah. Thank you so much for that. And uh, like Monday you would be going for office. And like how does a daily day look like in stat audit? What would you be in generally doing? Like
Okay.
just give us a eyesight. Like today my day would look like this random day.
So like there is this movie of Akshay Kumar, which is a holiday, a soldier in duty. So that way a statutory auditor never goes out duty. So like even if I
Right.
have my laptop shut down, somewhere or the other I have my laptop open in my mind. So yeah, so general, from morning to night, it would look somewhere like post morning rituals. My top three apps, my
Hmm.
favorite apps are not favorite. Even if it's not my favorite, I have to make it favorite. It would
Mandatory.
be Outlook, my emails, that is my messages,
Yes.
my Teams.
Hmm.
Third would be my calendar, wherein my
Right.
appointments are scheduled. So, like these top three apps of
Adulting.
a
Peak
statutory auditor, which replaces
adulting.
your Instagram, WhatsApp, and Facebook.
Facebook.
And yeah, post morning rituals would be this checking through all these three
Hmm.
apps, so that I get an overall idea.
Hmm.
of what my day would be like, and
Yes.
I can plan my day accordingly. Then depending upon how your team timings are, so usually it's 10 for all, but that itself depends, because for some it might start at 9:30 or 11. In case you're working late night, then I think they might exempt it and make it to 11. But yeah, at least login would be by 10.
Hmm. Okay.
And once the login is done, basis your appointment schedule of your calendars, your calls that have been scheduled, the work that you'll be doing, and the work is basically prior night's work. So
Hmm.
basically what happens before going to bed, I once I am done with all the work for the night, I tend to write whatever things I'll be doing the next day. So yeah, I'll keep a track of those, that I need to do these particular things by these hours of the day. And but that is not constant, because there
Hmm.
are
Hmm.
some
Hmm.
unprecedented calls that come up, or any urgent meetings, or any urgent review, or anything is possible. Like, it's like you're in the time bomb. So anything and everything is possible. Sometimes there are days that I couldn't start my work till 4 to 5, because I was busy with some other meetings which came up unplanned. But that also cannot be avoided, because a statutory auditor is never off duty. You need to always be on your toes. So yeah, then depending on your team log off, 7 or 8, whatever be, you complete your work schedule which has been planned for the day. In case it's quite urgent, you might extend your timings and complete it. And then, like, just before log off, I tend to write the things that I have done today, that I plan to do tomorrow. So yeah, for me, I think maintaining a to-do tracker is a really good advantage for
That is a, yeah,
not just a
that,
statutory auditor. I think for
yes.
any field you
Ev
work upon, having a to-do list is it's like your friend, that
yes.
who can help you manage that stress throughout the day. So yeah, that's how it is.
I mean, like, it was just a random question, but it gave so much of input, like the to-do list
And
and
I think this
everything.
is this unplanned meetings and couldn't work till 4 to 5, because something else came up, which was not. And I think that is quite common amongst all of
Yes,
us, right? All
yes,
the
yes,
professionals that we are in.
yes, yes.
So yeah, that way only. Nothing that
We
special, but sometimes also special.
we have to buckle up sometimes, like, yeah,
Yeah,
like it gets on us, like the pressure is on us to submit the deliverables or whatever.
absolutely.
So I can completely relate to it. Peak adulting, Alice.
Right. Yeah, right. Where you don't wake up with a good morning message, but you wake up with the Outlook message.
Outlook message, yes.
Today the client data has arrived. So this
Uh,
is your good morning.
it increases your
Yeah, आज
heartbeat.
ये कर लेना. This is your good morning. That is
Ekdam.
actually.
Nice, nice. And like this is my last question. Almost it's getting 1 hour. We started at 11:03. It's 12:01. We didn't realize it has gone. And I have my
Absolutely.
last question for you. Like, see, I have a general idea that yes, mostly CAs will be there to perform stat audit and they will be eligible to perform this profile. But have you seen any other eligible qualifications who have been in your team or in your organization, like someone from MBA or CMA or anybody, like in performing stat audit profiles in your experience?
Uh, uh, with my personal experience, I think within my immediate location-wise organization, if I have to say, I've only found CAs, but
Okay.
across the nation, when I connect
Hmm.
with people from different locations of my own organization,
Okay.
I have met people who are ACCA,
Okay.
which is another world's largest,
Yes.
professional accountancy body, and
Yes.
that's quite trending,
Yes.
I'll say, and it is always, because it tends to have a global, footprint. It has.
Yes.
So
Yes.
yeah, ACCA people are also there who work in the statutory audit profile. I'm not sure
Right.
about any other, because I did not personally come across them. There
Hmm.
might be, but ACCA is one that I have worked with as well.
Okay.
Like who were actually like executives and assistant managers level.
Okay.
I could see them.
Okay.
So yeah,
Okay.
ACCA is one.
Right. Great. But I think the signing authority, which you said, like for the partner level, like who signs off, I
That is
think,
a CA.
yeah, that is
That will
CA.
always be a CA
Yeah.
because statutory, like I mentioned, no,
Yes.
the statute word
Hmm.
comes, and here that reference is being made to the Companies Act
Companies app.
2013, and
Yes.
Companies Act 2013 gives that authority to a Indian chartered accountant only, right? Yeah,
We are very
like
proud.
Modi ji said that your sign is really important. A chartered accountant sign is important than that of a prime minister as well. So
Yes.
yeah, the signing authority definitely goes to the partner who is a Indian chartered accountant only. So yeah, that way.
Great. 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 Thank you so much, Alice, for so much input. Like every minute and every second was valuable since last 1 hour. Guys, if you have any questions, you can keep it in the chat box or you can unmute yourself and ask, guys. This is the platform, and there have been 8 to 9, 10 people who have been constantly there since the beginning. They have been there throughout the meeting. So if you guys have any questions, you can interact with Alice. This is the golden opportunity. Otherwise, we can wrap it up for the session. So you have anything, let me know the chat section or by unmuting yourself. Or you can give your feedback regarding the session as well. So does anybody have? Zenith, you have anything? Zenith might be watching you live. Rohan, Rio. Okay, I think they might not have any question. So, okay, Zenith has. Yeah, Zenith, you can unmute and ask if you want, or you can type it in the chat box. Thank you so much, Sai Charan. Zenith, waiting for your question. Yes. Um, is Zenith typing? Hmm. Are you saying Zenith typing the question?
I cannot see, she's not in my room.
Acha, okay. I'm waiting for the question. And even I forgot to inform, like during many of the answers you gave, they were the words which you used to give the answers. Like they are that shows why you won many competitions and why you are a public speaker. I wanted to appreciate that aspect. It was really, really good listening to you,
And
Alice.
I think I am listening this appreciation from a person who is already a great public speaker. So
I
listening
see.
from you is making me, like honored that
See,
I'm getting to hear from you.
I can recognize that that specific talent from you. I mean, like it was so good. Zenith, if you have, you can ask, please. Thank you, Rohan. Means a lot to me. Is she
So
asking?
sorry, I had this.
Yeah, yeah, yes, yes. You ask. You can unmute and ask.
So sorry, I had this connection issue.
Okay, fine, fine. Then you can type and ask the chat box. What are the common misconceptions businesses have about statutory audit? Zenith has asked the question.
So, common misconceptions. businesses have about statutory audit. Okay. So, I think for this misconception part, like it's like I guess the question is something like bursting the myth for the statutory audit, which the people usually have. I think we have this auditing standards,
Hmm.
which is governed by Institute of Chartered Accountants of India. And I love this proverb it has that auditors are watchdogs and not bloodhounds.
Right.
So, like, we are not the fault finders, I'll say, but
Hmm.
we are here to give, reasonable assurance
Hmm.
whether the financial statements have a true and fair view or not. And not just the financial statements having a true and fair view, but also the internal controls are in proper place or not. So, for the misconception, yeah, we are not here to find your errors and find where you are at fault, but whether the books that you have kept, the books that you have maintained, are in proper order. They are having true and fair view. Second, I would say that audit is not just only about numbers, which
Yes.
usually people think.
Hmm.
Uh, Even though we give our opinion on numbers, which is your balance sheet figures and your profit and loss figures, but it's beyond numbers, I'll
Yes.
say.
Yes.
Beyond numbers, as in what are the, policies, what are the things that have led to those numbers. So one might, fluctuate those numbers to give a true rosy picture, but we look at the backends as well, the related party transactions. That is why I say statutory audit. The good thing about is it is the statute, the Companies Act 2013, which lays down the sections that governs all of these only. The related party transactions, the cash transactions, how your books are being maintained. All these are being looked after along with the numbers. So it's not just
Yes.
number crunching, but also the other factors like beyond the numbers. So yeah, there are other things as well, not just numbers. So statutory audit is beyond it. And same thing, we are not just fault finders. We are to give the reasonable assurance to you that way.
Right. Right. Thank you. Thank you so much, Alice. Almost 1 hour, 1 hour, 5 to 10 minutes. We had this long discussion. Like I told her it will definitely go for 1 hour, 15 minutes at least. And it went. And because we had a lot to discuss, uh, once again, thank you so much, Alice, for accepting the invitation
Thank
and
you.
coming to this platform and like sharing all your insights. And this will definitely be on the biggest platform on the YouTube very soon. I'll upload it. And I think we had made a really good discussion. Thank you so much. If you have anything to say, you can say. And then,
Yeah, definitely. Like, thank you to you, first of all, Sai, for inviting me. This is a you know honor for me to because not just as a friend, I admire your entire journey, professional journey, and I myself take insights from you as well. So just friends, we have a good professional bonding as well in that
yes,
way, where we guide each other. So
yes.
that way I'm really proud to have you as my friend. So
Means a
yeah,
lot to
thank you so much
me.
for inviting me, and thank you to all the stars of the event. I think I guess I've missed the so I have good people here. Thank you so much for all of this support, for listening patiently, and giving me that boost. I'm always there. I would love to share my experience with people, so that it brings upon a change. If you can make a change in other person's life
Yes,
through your effort, I think your day cannot be golden than that.
right.
So yeah, thank you to all everyone here. Uh, and I'm available on LinkedIn to connect so that
Yes.
we can take it any further queries that you might not have asked here or you couldn't understand. We can take it in that platform and connect. And Sai is always there for our help, not just statutory audit, but as you all know, there are other profiles coming up and other profiles that have already been discussed, I think, in this
Yes,
platform.
yes, yes.
So those are available on YouTube. So I think, Sai, you are doing a great job for the
Thank,
profession.
thank you so much.
Helping each other, time connecting those dots are really important.
Yes.
So you're doing a great job. Looking
Means a lot.
forward to more such sessions, insightful sessions with you, definitely from my first webinar till today. So
Yeah,
it's a big journey for
it's
me as
been a
well.
long journey, and like
Yeah.
I'm feeling very
So
happy.
for
Like
you, I think it was not it might be some random nth number of the webinar, but for me, it was my first webinar post qualifying, and it was with you. So nothing could be happier. And today being the match, I
yes,
wish India wins.
yes, yes.
And
India will definitely
yeah,
win.
then I think a good start to Sunday. And to
Yes.
all the people who are attending as well. Uh, I know Sundays, weekends are there, but at the same time, being in a professional field, just don't, undermine these sessions, these
Hmm.
initiatives with which people are taking. No one is going to get, like, the people who are organizing this initiative and all, they are not going to get any monetary benefits
Yeah.
or any, like, for example, if things are being organized by any a bigger organization like ICI or any private platforms, people do get these achievement or medals or certificates. But here, people are taking initiatives at their own level, and that is quite commendable, and kudos to you. Sai, and kudos to you as well, that you have spent people here who have spent their 1.5 hours
Almost.
trying to understand the profile, so that
Yes.
you can judge what you need to take up in the future.
Right.
So
Right.
yeah, good one, Sai. Thank you so much, and
Means
thank
a
you to all
lot
the
to me.
participants here. I have many familiar names here in the chat
Okay.
box. Thank you
Okay.
so
Okay.
much for attending.
Means a lot to me. Every word from you, Alice, it has made my day, and my heart is full. Thank you so much for everything. So,
Thank you.
guys, thank you for the amazing feedbacks in the chat section. And yes, so let's give it a good, good ending to the Sunday. So let's wrap up the session. I'm
Thank you. Thank you so
stopping the
much.
recording.
Have a really good day, and let's bleed blue.
Yes.